guys, it's your girl Jen, and for this video, I've partnered with Clinique to show you the face of the month. I'll be using their Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer, and I'm just gonna sit down and do a little talk through makeup tutorial. I don't do this very often, or ever, so I thought I would just kind of switch things up. If you enjoy makeup tutorials, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and if you'd like to see this look, then keep on watching. So here is my bare face. I tweeted out saying that I was gonna do a Q&A because I'm not the type of person who could just talk without any guidelines. So I thought I would just simultaneously do my makeup and answer some questions. So let's start. First, I've got my primer. I'm using Tarte's Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. Do you have any advice for someone who lives in a small town so their fashion always seems so over the top compared to others? I feel like this is something that every fashion-oriented person kind of struggles with, especially in the beginning, because the more bold your fashion choices become, the more you stand out. And while I was going to college in Davis, like the first couple of weeks it was pretty daunting because Davis is a pretty sleepy, small farm college town, and I definitely stuck out with my Hellraisers and my 5-inch red platforms. But it's only the first 2 weeks that feel kind of weird because after a while, people just get used to you and your eclectic style, and that just becomes the norm. It's just the first couple of weeks that are awkward, but after that, it's just smooth sailing. So now that primer's done, I'm gonna go in with foundation. Here I'm using Clinique's Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. This will look familiar because I put this in my March favorites. I love this foundation. I've been using this for a couple of months now, and it's awesome. It's only $28, and I love the applicator. Something about a doe foot applicator just always gets to me. It looks like a cute little animal foot. It's so cute. This applicator makes it really easy to put as much foundation or as little as you want. You really have control on how much you want to put. So see, the applicator just makes it really precise on exactly where you want to apply it. And this is a full coverage foundation, but I just use as much as I need, so I can go with a light hand or a heavy hand, depending on what kind of look I'm going for. Today I think I'm just gonna do a light layer because I just want something fresh, and my skin is behaving, so I'm not gonna do too much to cover that up. It's really great because I don't have to use a separate concealer because this foundation doubles as one. So it's like a 2-in-1 product, which is awesome. So I finished the first layer, and now I'm gonna go in again, and I'm just gonna really target my under eyes. I know with some foundations, you really have to rush on blending quickly because it just dries too fast. But I really like that you can take your time with this and blend at your leisure. All right, so I'm pretty much done blending this out. It's got like a nice natural matte finish, but it's not cakey whatsoever. So now that it's all blended, I'm going to set that with a translucent powder. This is by MERCIER. And then with my beauty blender, I'm just gonna grab the product and I'm just gonna set it like underneath my eyes, around the smile lines, and then a little bit on the forehead. And then I'll grab a big fluffy brush and then just kind of wipe the powder away. Now it is time for the brows, and I'm using this brow pencil by Dior. And I'm also going to answer this question by Beruru12. How do you organize your schedule? Do you have a planner? If so, could you perhaps make a video about it? Love your work and best wishes. Thank you. I pretty much live off the calendar app on my phone. Literally the second I get a plan, I'll just jot it down onto my phone that second because I know if I just put it off and I don't do it, then I'm just gonna completely forget. So I always say that the mind is a terrible office. So the second that you have a plan, write it down in your phone, whether it's something digital or whether you have a hard copy like a physical planner, just jot it down. It'll help you segment off different projects you have. So for example, if I have like a huge video project, I like to space it out. One day I will brainstorm what's gonna happen in the video. Another day I'll flesh out a full creative treatment. And then another day I'll just do all the filming that day. Instead of just cramming it into one day, I intersperse it into like a nice week. So that way I don't feel too stressed and pressured when the due date actually comes. And that's exactly what I did for school. So habits from school are definitely incorporated into my work life, which I think is cool. But yeah, it's better to just space everything out than just feeling cramped and pressured to do everything all at once. I live off my happiness planner. Every night before I go to bed, I schedule everything that I need to do that day, things I'm excited about, and it just gives my life structure and balance, which I always appreciate. Man, talking while doing your makeup is not an easy thing. I think this is as good as my brows are gonna look today. Let's move on to eyeshadows now. I am using my Je ne sais quoi ColourPop palette. I've been meaning to use Trois in a tutorial, so this is that day. Here's Toi, it's like a nice brick red, and I'm just going to pop that all over my lid using a synthetic brush. The next question comes from Lauren. She asks, what's the best dish Ben has made for you, and what's Ben's favorite dish of yours? Lately, he's been making this delicious breaded chicken. It is such a fire dish. He makes a breaded chicken with a bit of mash, and it is just the most succulent but crunchy thing ever. And his bolognese is always a good one too. He makes the best pasta. When Ben and I first moved in, like the end of 2015, I was just gaining a bunch of weight because he just kept on feeding me such delicious food. But now I've learned to like kind of pace myself and portion control. But yeah, he's definitely an amazing cook. All right, so I brought you guys in a little closer so you can see the color on my lid. To blend it all out, I'm using De, and this is just gonna smoke everything out and make it look more seamless. As for my cooking, I feel like my cooking skills have deteriorated a little bit since Ben and I have been living together, but he always loves my takdoritang. That's like my classic Korean dish that I always make. It's just like a spicy chicken potato dish. He also knows how to make it now, so he makes it better than I do now at this point, which is kind of sad. I feel like Ben and I have a pretty good system though, because he'll cook and I'll help like chop and stuff, and then at the end, I'll just wash up. So I like the system that we have now. I think we should just keep it. I'm not mad at that. All right, so now I'm using cat. I feel like everyone always kills me for the pronunciation of this. I'm sorry, but this is 4 in French. Cat, cat. I'm trying. But this is just a dark brown, and I'm going to use that to just really intensify the look. That's what dark colors do on the eyes. So I'm just gonna pop that right there. Not too much because I still want the red to show through. Okay, so I've popped it into the corners of my eyes. It looks a little messy now, but I'm gonna grab another blending brush, blend out some more. And then I'm gonna go back in with Toi. I'm gonna get a flat, dense brush. I'm gonna pop that onto the bottom lid just to give it a little bit more dimension. I know reds can be a little intimidating for the eyes, but I swear, as long as it's like a nice brick red and you've got some dimension on the top, I think it looks amazing. Now I'm grabbing Un, and I'm going to apply this right in the inner corners of the eyes just to kind of highlight this section. And then I'm gonna pop that right on the brow bone. I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. I think we can move on to the eyeliner now. All right, for eyeliner, using the same old Kat Von D tattoo liner, I'm gonna do a little flick. Sorry, I cannot talk for this bit. This requires too much concentration. That's fine. Chugging iced coffee was not a good idea before filming this. So shaky. Whew, okay. Cat eye is done. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of mascara. I'm using this one by Lancome. This is their Grandiose formula. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to answer another question. This one is by Paula. What's one of the most challenging things about being a YouTube creator? Ooh, this one's a little deep, but I thought I would mention it because I think it's good to put some of this information out there. I think for me, the most challenging part about being a YouTuber is definitely the constant pressure to feel like you always need to be evolving your content, always coming with something fresh and different, especially at a high frequency. And I feel like this is what is expected in the arts and entertainment field, but as just one person, it's a lot. And I feel like I've never truly taken a break from doing this. I've been doing this for 7 years now, and it's, you know, there were times where I definitely felt burnt out. I feel like the YouTube community has changed so drastically. There are a lot more people that are dumping content into space, and I think it's amazing, but it's the fear of being irrelevant and being stale is real. And the way that I kind of was able to not be so burnt out is by expanding my team. And so I've got my manager Ashley, who helps negotiates all my deals, who manages timelines. I've got Dawn, my amazing graphic designer, so I don't have to stress about figuring out how to do all this Photoshop stuff. I've got Ben, who is pretty much my in-house videographer and photographer. And now I even get some help from my friends at LR Creative, who help me pump out some really highly produced stuff that I wouldn't be able to film on my own. I just feel like YouTube isn't just a one-person show anymore, and it hasn't been for a while. And if you choose to just handle all these projects on yourself, you are gonna drown and you're gonna burn out. And so I'm learning that I need to just expand my team, relinquish some control over some of my projects, and just delegate these tasks out to other people. And that's how you have a good functioning business. I also find it very difficult to separate myself from my work, because in the end, my work is myself. And so let's say a video doesn't do well, or people are nitpicking about something personal in my life. There are some days where it really eats me up inside and it hurts, because I think people forget that we're just people too, and on our bad days, it's really hard to separate work from myself. But in the end, it is what comes with the territory, and the positives that are in this career path totally outweigh any of the challenges. And every day, I feel so blessed to be able to do this, and I never ever forget that. And it's all because of you guys. You guys have blessed me with this incredible life, and this is why I work so hard for you guys. I try to put out content that I would want to see. I want to just do my best for you guys, because you have transformed my life in so many ways, and I never ever forget that. Everything has a pro, everything has a con, but in the end, I am living my dream job, and there's no negative that I can't overcome because of it. So I know we spent a bunch of time coating my lashes with this mascara, but I'm just gonna go in with some falsies right now, just for the top, just to give it a little boost. All right, lashes are on and in full force. That's better. So we're gonna move on to contour. I'm using the Pony palette in Marvelous. So while I'm contouring, I'm going to be answering this one, a more lighthearted question. This is from Esther Shin. She asked, "카톡 쓰세요? What is your favorite Katok character?" My favorite character is definitely the little mushroom guy. I don't really know what he is or it is, but when he turns around, the back of his head looks like a butt, and he's so cute. I always use that guy. And I only use Kakao Talk with my parents, family members, and just pretty much anyone in Korea. For blush, I'm using this little peach guy in this palette. Gonna pop that onto the apples of my cheeks. And then for highlight, I'm going in with this STILA Starlight Starbright palette. I'm going in with Kitten, which is the one in the middle. And I'm just gonna give myself some dewy skin. So this question comes from Mel, and she asks, how do you motivate yourself to do better in every way? I would say that my motivation has always kind of been inherently in me. I feel like this drive is in all of us, but it's just the actions you do to make this drive stronger. In my life, I've always been an action-oriented person. If I see a problem, I don't wait around for someone else to do it. Like, if I can do something about it, I will go ahead and do it myself. Maybe it's because I don't really believe in plan Bs, or I don't have something to fall back on, that I just put 100% in everything that I do, because I don't see any other alternative. And even though my best may not be the best in someone else's eyes, it's my personal best, and that's all that I can do. And I think as long as you're improving, even like ever so slightly, whether it's personally, professionally, or emotionally, I think you're on the right track, and that is what motivates me. Okay, so I think we're pretty good on the highlighter. For my lips, I'm using ColourPop's Naughty, and this is a really nice nude. All right, nice. Alright guys, so this is the finished look and also the face of the month. I hope you enjoyed this segment. I think it was quite refreshing to just kind of sit down and talk with you guys and be a little bit more candid. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and also feel free to leave me a question for the next face of the month Q&A segment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Mwah.